What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you again for tuning in. Welcome to another mod. Today we are doing something, this is new, this is fresh. This is a very newly released, I don't want to say product, but I want to say kit from Mod Emporium. If you don't know who Mod Emporium is, they are very well known in the BMW community, mainly for their custom retrofit headlights. They have come up with a wiring kit that enables you to have your seat emblems always on. Why would you want those always on? Because it's cool. I have a lot of people, a lot of friends who they were like, "Oh, that's so cool that they light up." Do they light up all the time? It's like, no, it's when you unlock the car. What we're gonna do, this is gonna be tricky. I've taken a sneak peek under the seat, and the space is limited, so this could be a dirty video. I will try my best to get you the best angles, the best shots, and follow along. But we're gonna put this wiring kit in. What's neat about this is it's completely reversible. There's no coding, there's no splicing, there's no cutting. So that is cool that if you want to take it out, you absolutely can. And the other thing too is the original functionality of when you unlock the car. That doesn't go away, that's still there. So is it like always on? No, it's actually going to be with your ambient lighting. So when your headlights are on, seats are on. Your parking lights are on, seats are on. You turn that off, they will go off. So you have the option, and that's what's great. It's just being able to have the option. So here's the kit right here. It looks pretty simplistic, it pretty much is, but the main thing is being able to figure out what we need to plug this into. This video is gonna be tough. I'm gonna try my best. I think the space is very limited inside the car because I'm gonna have to get like under a seat and in the back seat. So I've got like my headlamp. I'm gonna try to get you the best lighting, the best angles. So anyway, let's get to it. Follow along, here we go. All right, so one of the first things that you have to do is you're gonna have to disconnect the negative terminal from the car. Reason being is we're gonna disconnect a connector from underneath each seat, which is also going to be for the airbag. And if you skip this step, then you're gonna get an airbag error warning, and that won't go away unless you take it to a dealership, or if you have Beamer Link and then you go in there and clear that code. It's an unnecessary step. But before you disconnect the negative terminal, go to each seat and look for the yellow connector. I'm gonna show you that in a second. And you'll wanna find where you maybe just rock your seat back. That way you have a little bit more space for your hands to get this connector out. So move your seats back. After you move your seats back where you think you have good clearance, let's go disconnect the negative terminal. I've done that in a previous video, so I'm just gonna plug in some footage right there in case you don't know how to do it. Otherwise, you can skip ahead and we can get to it. All right, so the yellow connector you are looking for is going to be that guy right here. And just to get a little extra clearance, I would recommend before you're disconnecting the battery, just rock this up and you can kind of see, you'll get a little bit more space for your hands. So just doing that now. Is we need to disconnect the battery. So in the F80 and F82, it is in the rear. You just have to take this little knob and turn it to the left and then just pull and kind of rock out because there's a little tab on the bottom, and just slightly lift up out of the way. And there is the battery. And we need to disconnect the negative side, which is this guy right here. And I believe it is a 10 millimeter. And it seems like a 10 is working, so we're gonna go with that. And there we go. Negative is disconnected, and we're going to put this out of the way so it doesn't retouch again. So in the event that somehow it pops up by me sitting in the vehicle or sitting out, I'm going to cover that negative, and then I'm also going to cover the port here. So there's no way that either one of these should be able to touch. Okay, so now that we removed the negative, the battery is disconnected, there's no power going to anything. I need to give credit where credit is due, and this goes to Kies Motorsports, specifically Brian. He has the genius idea of covering this up in the event that you forget that you disconnected the battery, or a friend or a relative, your wife, your girlfriend walks by and goes, "Hey, you left your trunk open, I closed it for you." He covers this up and ties a little knot. That way you can't get locked out. I think that's a genius idea, so I want to give a shout out to Brian. So tie a little nice knot. That way in the event someone closes the trunk or you forgot that you disconnected the battery, you won't have a really long day. All right, let's go inside. Okay, we got really good, actually, much better clearance than I thought by just rocking that seat back. So here's the yellow connector. What we need to do is lift a small release clip, and we're gonna unplug the main yellow connector from the vehicle. So
This should probably be some type of rock switch, I would assume. So push that down, and when you rock it like that, it should come out just like that. So this is just a little rocker switch. I pushed down on that and was able to rock that, and it kind of slide out. All right, so next step is we are going to look for this little tiny black zip tie, which is right on the end here, right where the wires go in, and we need to snip that off. I love these snips, these ultra flush cutters. I use them when I did my GTS taillights, and they are precise. And just like that, you make sure you cut only the zip tie and nothing else, and that's why I love those. So that zip tie is now out. All right, next step is that we want to slide the black connector from within side to actually get to the wiring. So this black part needs to come out this way. Now, on LCI versions, there's a small release clip, and that is supposed to be at the top, which I believe is to be this guy. And they say pre-LCI, it's on the bottom. So just take note, if you are like 2015 or pre-LCI, your release clip is going to be somewhere here, I assume. But mine's a 2016, it is an LCI, so mine is this little black guy right here. Take your screwdriver, you're going to push it in between the black and the yellow part sideways, and then as you do that, you're going to kind of twist, so the flathead is going to kind of give you some leverage. It'll create a little space between the black and yellow part, and at the same time you do this, stick it in here, and then kind of twist it a little bit, and then should be able to, you'll feel it get loose, and then this black connector, should be able to slide out. And there we go. All right, so if we flip this around, we will see numbers counting up, counting down, depending on which way you hold it. You're not gonna be able to see this in the video. But what we're looking for is, I believe we're looking for pin 7, which is going to be a purple cable. So it will be like that. So it appears that 1 is red, and then there is a couple spaces there. And what we are doing is we're looking for number 7, which is like a purplish gray wire. So if I count 1, I'm sorry for blocking you guys. This is a little tight. So we're looking for pin 7. So I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that correlates with this purplish grayish wire. That's the one we're going to want to take out. I think the trickiest part is trying to do this and not block you guys, but take your screwdriver, push it into that one. While that's being pushed in, I'm going to gently try to remove only the purple wire, and it should slide out like that. And then with the included, they come with a little tiny heat shrink wrap. I guess you could use black electrical tape, but I think they do this just because I guess it's thinner. But you're just covering up the exposed wire, and we're just gonna tuck that back in eventually into the yellow connector when we're done. But we can kind of just fold that back for now. We're not gonna be using that. So I'm just kind of leaving this dangle, so when I'm ready to do the passenger seat, that'll be ready to go. But we're gonna go back over to the driver's side and plug that into the exact same one that we took out, which was number 7. So this does only go in one way. You'll know that when you took it out, there was like a little ridge on the wire, so make sure that that bump is going to be facing towards you. You're going to make sure it's facing the proper way. Going to put it right next to the yellow one, which was number 7, and slide that baby down. Keep pushing, keep pushing. You should see a poke out on the bottom, and then maybe a little click. All right, it wasn't really a click, but it did get in there. So now we have our new wire in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I give it a little wiggle there, make sure it's seated good, and it is. And we're just gonna reinsert the black connector, slide that in place, take your time. And there we go. There was a nice little noticeable click. Now it's just about wire management, and I'm going to use some of the included zip ties here, to zip tie along the existing wiring, and they do note to make sure that you do leave a little bit of slack just for the forward and backward motion if you need to adjust your seat. So we're going to do that. All right, so you're going to take your yellow clip that's reassembled, make sure the rocker switch is facing forward where we left, not over the little clip. Slide that back in until you get resistance, like that, and then you're going to rock this back, and as you do, it's going to kind of seat itself, and like that, and driver's side is done. All right, I am now going to go to the passenger side. We're going to repeat the exact same steps that we did for the driver's side. I'm going to skip that, and then I'm going to take you to the back seat and show you where we tap into the power near the rear console. All right, we are finally ready to get that wire that has been routed from both front seats to the back. We need to pop off this rear console, and to do so, some say you can grab it by the top and pull, some say you can grab it by the bottom and pull, but simply it is shouldn't need any tools, trim removal tool. So I'm going to just try to grab it from wherever I feel I have the best grip. It kind of seems like I might have best grip at the bottom, so I'm going to attempt to do that now. Okay, yeah, the bottom worked for me. And I guess I'll just work my way up. Okay. A little cumbersome. And I want to say there's probably some wiring here, so I'm gonna try to, oh, I see the wires there. All right, let me get a better angle here for you guys so you can see the wires that we are looking for. It is going to be, oof, gosh, this is difficult. It is going to be, without getting blown out here, these wires here, there is a gray and red one. So hopefully you guys can see that. There's two wires. We're gonna use a posi tap and go into the gray and red wire there. All right, so I think I'm actually gonna take this opportunity, and now that I have this back off, there isn't a lot of slack without disconnecting anything, but see how these are a little loose? I think I'm going to take this opportunity now to actually route the wire up through the console so they are hidden and discreet. So I'm going to put the camera down now and just do that. All I'm essentially going to be doing is taking this and just kind of stuffing it up under there so it is in the trim. And then once I feel like I got that good and secure, I don't know if there's going to be any way to shoot it, but I will use the posi tap and go into that grayish with a red stripe wire. Alright, so I did my routing. I feel pretty good about that. As you can see, everything is kind of up under the trim and tucked, and the excess is just going to go in here. I ensured that there was some slack good to go for the seats, so it's gonna button up pretty nice, I think. I will not be able to shoot this. I tried to get a different camera angle, but at this point, you're going to just remove this gray cap off the end. It has like a little wedge, a little cutout. Just take that and stick it in between there. And so now I'm at the point where I'm about to take this and just screw this red cap underneath of that, and that will make a nice little piercing and give us that power. All right, posi tap is in. I am trying to figure out exactly, I think this is a little part I've been struggling with, which is funny because I'm just trying to get this to snap back in. Okay. All right, I just maybe had to manhandle a little bit more. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. That is done. That is buttoned up. I guess this is the time where we'll plug in the battery, and I'll move my seats, and then the moment of truth. So let's go plug in the battery. All right, we are back in the trunk, and we're just gonna get rid of our rag here. Set this down back on the terminal here. Oh, cool. Make sure that stays down. All right, battery is in. What do I do first? Do I move the seats? Do I move the seats, or do I just test it? Just test it? What do I do? What do I do? Give you accessory. Oh boy. So theoretically, when I put on parking lights or headlights, these guys should light up. Oh, hell freaking yeah. By a switch. Seat lights via the headlight switch. That is... Hold on, I gotta do this in the dark. Let's do this in the dark. Yeah, that looks so good. It can be on whenever you want now, even while driving. And of course, I'm sure headlight. Yep, let's get the full glory. And they won't go off now when you drive. That is slick. That is so slick. And then you can just turn them off whenever you want. All right guys, there you go. You asked for it. You wanted a step-by-step tutorial on how to hardwire your seat emblems to ambient lights so you can have them on whenever you want, and there you go. If you appreciate today's video, if you found it useful, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe. Catch you guys next time. Out.